Hi everyone, it's Dr. Naza here again, and here's something that's been weighing on my mind, and I thought to speak about it. I've been having lots of questions about it lately, and I'll just address it here. So, I've had multiple people that already have a bachelor's in whatever field, whatever degree, or an associate's come to ask, should I get an accelerated BSN or should I just do a traditional BSN? And there's pros and cons to both of them factually, but I just think the biggest criteria that sets them apart is finances. Of course, an accelerated program is way more expensive than a traditional BSN program. So I think that's the number one thing to consider is, do I have the means to go through this program or do I not have it? And if you don't have it, then traditional BSN is more likely your pathway. I'm a firm believer of, if you don't need to spend that much, then don't. And lately, I've been considering, or just, thinking back, what's the pros of, getting an ADN versus ABSN? And I'll talk about that in a second video. But for now, aside the financial piece of the traditional being better than the accelerated, another thing to consider is, usually in traditional BSN programs, you're more likely to get scholarships or different fundings or grants compared to an accelerated BSN program. Majority of the ABSN programs do not give scholarships or any student grants, except FAFSA, of course, which applies to both ends, right? So that's something to also keep in mind, is that you would most likely pay everything out of pocket, and given that it's more expensive, you can think about it. Of course, the biggest pro to doing the ABSN is that it is way faster, right? You see programs ranging from 11 months to 18 months, whereas the traditional is just 24 months and above. That's 2 years or 2.5 years. The ABSN is usually 11 months to 1.6 years, or 1 year and 6 months, 1 year and 8 months, which is not so different from 2 years if you look at it. So something to keep in mind. Again, it just depends on what you're going for. Some people have a goal up there, and getting your bachelor's in nursing is the first step to achieving that goal. So if it's something that you're willing to risk in terms of finances, like you have the means, or you want to borrow that much to speed track your nursing program so you can get on with the other sides of nursing that you most likely want to do, that's something to consider, because then the ABSN program will most likely be better for you. So just those are just things to think about. I think that's the biggest those are the biggest things to think about, because in either of them, when you graduate, you're back in the same spot. You had an ABSN, you had a BSN, you're still a new graduate nurse. There's nothing else that sets you apart aside the money and the time of completion. So there's no extra perks of an ABSN once you're done with school. You have to write the same NCLEX, and you're back on the same floor doing your residency or orientation to being a new nurse. So those are things to keep in mind. Of course, there are more intricate things, aside this that I've mentioned, and those are things that I offer in my one-on-one coaching for aspiring nursing students or nursing students that are done with school and trying to transition into residency. So make sure to leave me a DM, follow me, and interact. I'll look forward to our next video. Bye.